All right, so are we here?
We're here.
Hi, guys. Welcome back to the podcast. The Odd Drunk Podcast, that, for those who are listening.
We got some
Here it
guests
is.
here today.
So, we have a very special guest. It's our first outsider, I would say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
way out from the Badlands.
Yeah, the Badlands. Yeah.
Out there in the wasteland and the apocalyptic wasteland outside of the mountains.
So
we're not very familiar with the world outside of our studio.
Podcast. Yeah.
We just assumed the bombs went off and
This is just our lives.
it's just fallout now.
Yeah. I mean, the studio is kind of like a bunker. There's no natural light that comes in. It's black walls. Danny DeVito's with us because he's surviving too.
Yeah, he will always survive. He is a constant in the universe.
Danny DeVito's a constant. He's the beginning and the end, Alpha and Omega. So.
Okay, I've already snorted. That's a
really good sign. So, would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Tora. That sounded weird. Hi, I'm Tora. That's it.
That's it.
That is a pretty good introduction, I'd say.
She's my coworker. I'm not gonna say where.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to embarrass us.
Anyway, it's going to be a really good episode. First, we're going to...
And we also have your girlfriend. Jeez, you almost skipped her, man.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I think that makes me feel bad.
I'm in trouble.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
I don't give a crap.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a good episode.
So...
Hold on. Roll the intro.
It's the Odd Drunk Podcast, a very strange podcast, the drunkest show in the world. It's Jackson and Colton talking out of their ass. We don't care as long as drinks are poured. Sometimes we have our friends here. We will talk about anything. We don't care as long as we have beer. And if you let that whiskey ring. The Odd Drunk Podcast.
There it is.
And that was it.
Yep.
For you look very confused. We have an intro song, but we don't play it live. We insert it.
It's a good
post.
intro. It's jazzy.
But we pretend like we heard it.
Yeah. We still need to get Cody to do trumpet on that, and then it's going to just send it, to the moon.
Like
Cody Donald.
Like a croissant.
So
I don't know any other French things.
You already saw from reading the title, but this is a new idea we've got going here. A new type of episode. We are going to be reading some Harry Potter for you guys, basically.
Yeah, we've done commentary on movies. We're going to do a commentary on a book, a chapter.
A reading.
Yeah, a reading.
Yeah. And if it's good enough, maybe we'll do an audiobook. We're not going to commit to that, but let's say this episode gets like 1,000 downloads.
Well, you know how like audiobooks, when people record those, they can't make mistakes and stuff, and it's like really well edited.
Well, we should do like the opposite of that.
Yeah, an Odd Drunk audiobook would be like we would get really plastered and then read a book.
Yeah.
And it would be terrible. We'd probably mispronounce words, skip whole sentences.
Before we get into this, I'm not going to apologize because it's kind of the point of the podcast. But we got plastered last time, especially me. And it was fun. It was a fun episode. I enjoyed it. But I said a lot of dumb things. I don't think I said anything mean or offensive. I did make fun of Bob Dylan a little bit. So I apologize, Bob Dylan.
Bob, if you're listening.
I just made fun of him.
Bob, if you're listening, we love you, but you're really easy to make fun of.
Yeah. But I just want to make a few corrections, just real quick. So I talked about how the Sublime solo is like Stairway to Heaven, but I got the wrong song. I said it was Date Rape. No, Smoke Two Joints, and it's just the beginning of the Stairway to Heaven solo.
Yeah.
That's the first one. Second one, the record store back home I feel like this isn't as needed, but I just need to get it out there because I really like this record store. It's called Starship Records. That's what I was trying to talk about.
Not Starlight.
Not Starlight or Star or whatever. I just called it Star at one point. And also, I just want to apologize for going on that metal rant. Not for being drunk, but going on that metal rant. You shouldn't have mentioned Metallica. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I should be apologizing for mentioning Metallica around Drunk Jackson.
But it was fun, right?
It was fun. Yes.
And I hope you guys are listening to ska now, because that is such a fun form of music.
Listen to ska, or else.
Yeah, Tora. Listen to ska.
Pick it up, pick it up.
Pick it up,
Tora.
pick it up. Here I am, doing everything I can. Okay, it's not a ska episode again, but we could put some ska-isms into Harry Potter. So what we're going to do, we're going to read. If you want to read along with us, if you were going to do that, I assume nobody's going to do that. But if you're that one person, we are reading Goblet of Fire. Yeah.
Pick it up. Pick up that book.
Pick it up. Here I am. Okay. So, yeah, we're reading Harry Potter Part 4, Goblet of Fire. The movie version, no. The novelization of the movie based off the book. Those exist, by the way. Those do exist.
Based off of the novel Precious by Sapphire.
It's my favorite movie. But yeah, we're going to read the Goblet of Fire. And this chapter is called the Goblet of Fire. So that's nice. And we're going to do each character, do some voices. And then after that, we got some other things to throw in here. Some quizzes. And then I have one special little thing for the end. And yeah, I'm excited. So, are you excited as I am, Tora?
I'm nervous.
Oh, don't be nervous here.
I'm nervous.
We don't bite. We
I
nibble.
almost drank all my butterbeer, and I feel kind of drunk. I'm nervous. I'm gonna stutter on these words.
Thank you, Tora. You just gave a perfect segue to the next section of this show. What are we drinking? We are not drinking anything from the Muggle world, okay? We are drinking butterbeer from Harry Potter.
Yes.
And so...
What do they call that tavern? The Wiggins-Skeever?
That's Skyrim.
No, that's
the Wink
The
and
three
Skeever?
broomsticks.
the Three Broomsticks.
Yeah. Don't mix your Skyrim with Harry Potter, even though there's really good
My next guess is going to be the Prancing Pony.
But so it's butterbeer. So what it is, it's a cream soda, butterscotch schnapps, which tastes like candy, by the way, vanilla vodka, and then some whipped cream on top. It's that simple. It's delicious.
Yeah.
It's sweet. It's probably the sweetest thing we've had on here.
It's so sneaky.
It's very sneaky, very dangerous.
Yeah.
And that's how we like it, sneaky and dangerous.
I like all my
Sneaky
drinks to be sneaky. Like a ninja. Level 100 in stealth.
I forgot to start the timer, but it's okay now. I fixed it. So yeah, so we're each gonna do a different character. I'm gonna be Ron in this chapter, Ron Weasley.
We're reading chapter 16.
Yeah.
The Goblet of Fire. Happens to be the title of the book as well.
Yeah, I said that earlier. Okay.
I wasn't listening.
Stop stealing.
Stealing your
Colton
thunder.
is stealing my- No. But so yeah, I'm gonna be Ron Weasley,
Okay.
and you're gonna be Harry.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds like it.
If you want, I mean,
I don't care.
do you want to be Hermione?
I don't care.
That'd be pretty good.
I don't care. I'll be
Um,
here.
and Tora, you're gonna be Hermione, right?
Okay, yeah.
And then I'll also be narrating, because that's a character in and of itself. Because if we just say the dialogue without any narration, it's gonna be way shorter and make no sense.
Yeah, we'll just say all of the dialogue only.
Danielle, are you ready
Just the
there?
dialogue? Okay.
That's what we're going with. That's what we're gonna call me. Okay. That's
Okay,
cool.
mixed squibbles. How about that? You said I could make one up.
That's fine. Whatever, man. I have never read any of the Harry
Do
Potter
you-
books or really watched.
Do you
any
have a
of the
character
movies.
you would like to do?
No, I think I'll just be a keen observer for
Do you
now.
wanna be
and then maybe
Dumbledore?
try
You
and
could be
figure it
Dumbledore,
out.
because right now, Colt. Yeah, that one's not.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not super good at reading out loud, but I can try.
Who is? I always hated reading out loud in class, and this is gonna help me purge that fear.
Because this doesn't have
I've
to
always
do
been
with,
fine at reading out loud, to be honest.
Oh, look at you! I'm fine with reading in class. No, I just always notice. I always mispronounce things when I speak in class. Usually, especially like in the morning, like our morning class.
Oh yeah, when you're tired.
I'm just like, it's the immense.
I mispronounce my own words when I'm in class in the 8 a.m.
Yeah, so
I guess if I'm gonna read, just tell me what to read, because this is not like.
Well, if you don't want to read, we will make you read.
do you want to do?
What?
You could do the narration if you want, because you don't have to do like a voice for that. You can just get into
Does
it.
it say narrator somewhere?
It just
No,
not
it's just
dialogue,
everything that's not a dialogue.
which is a lot.
That's a lot. You
That
don't,
is more work. I'll do narration. You can figure it out as we go. Because
you don't
dumb-
have to read anything.
Okay.
yeah, so
Just be a keen observer making ridiculous
Alright, so-
comments about why it's confusing.
open up your books, grab a beer, a butterbeer.
Grab a butterbeer.
Wow, you already drank all that.
Grab a butterbeer. Put on your round reading glasses.
Yeah, the only thing that's accessible right now is the whiskey. That's up to you, okay? So I know you got a ride, so go for it. Well, it's up to Colton really because it's his whiskey.
I don't care.
He doesn't care. He doesn't care about anything. He's a nihilist.
How nice.
He's some hipster nihilist.
I am not a nihilist.
You're an anarchist. It's different.
No,
No, he's not even that.
I'm an objectivist.
What the hell is that?
Some hipster. Don't worry about it. My dad said you were a yuppie hipster because you liked Spam. And I'm like, what?
I thought that was.
What? Yuppie.
That's such a dad thing.
I thought that was so good. Your dad's comments on that.
Okay.
Did you see my comments back at him?
I did not.
No, I commented as the Odd Drunk Podcast page, the GIF of the Monty Python spam.
I
spam.
saw. Oh, I love Monty. Okay, let's get into this. Open up your book. Grab your drink.
Jackson.
Yes.
So I'm gonna start this. Chapter 16. The Goblet of Fire.
Good narration.
I don't believe it, Ron said in a stunned voice as the Hogwarts students filed back up the steps behind the party from Durmstrang. Crumb, Harry! Victor Crumb!
It's Hermione.
Hermione.
For heaven's sake, Ron, he's only a Quidditch player, says Hermione.
He says
Said Hermione.
Hermione.
Only a Quidditch player? Ron said, looking at her as though he couldn't believe his ears. Hermione, he's one of the best seekers in the world. I had no idea he was still at school. As they recrossed the entrance hall with the rest of the Hogwarts students heading for the Great Hall, Harry saw Lee Jordan jumping up and down on the soles of his feet to get a better look at the back of Crumb's head.
Is that like a basketball player?
Lee Jordan?
Lee Jordan?
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
For the Lakers. He's in Hogwarts.
No wonder he has magic shoes.
He's gonna teach basketball. Okay,
Cheater.
whatever. I read it as 6-year-olds. Several 6-year girls were frantically searching their pockets as they walked. Wait, who is it?
No,
It's me?
Them girls.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you.
Oh, I don't believe it. I haven't got a single quill on me. Do you think he'd sign my hat in lipstick?
Really?
Hermione said loftily as they passed the girls, now squabbling over the lipstick. I'm getting his autograph if I can, said Ron. You haven't got a quill, have you, Harry?
No, that upstairs in my bag.
Said Harry. They
He's
walked in.
not Scottish, Ethan.
Hey, it's whatever we want it to be.
Harry will sound however I want him to sound.
Sure,
This is our
but,
interpretation.
There is never a description of Harry's accent in the books.
That is true. Let's just assume. Okay, quiet. They walked over to the Gryffindor table and sat down. Ron took care to sit on the side facing the doorway because Crumb and his fellow Durmstrang students, they're the Russian ones? Or French?
They're like Russian.
They're French.
Noise.
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 Anyways, apparently unsure about where they should sit. The students from Beauxbatons had chosen seats at the Ravenclaw table. They were looking around the great hall with glum expressions on their faces. Excuse me. 3 of them were still clutching scarves and shawls around their heads,
It's not that cold.
said Hermione defensively.
Why didn't they bring cloaks?
Over here! Come and sit over here, Ron hissed. Over here, Hermione, budge up, make a space. What?
I don't know.
Too late, said Ron bitterly. We're learning as we go, guys. Victor Crumb and his fellow Durmstrang students had settled themselves at the Slytherin table.
Hold on.
Yeah, I'm hearing...
Yeah, I think it's that chord. That's worse.
Is it hitting against the table?
It's just a bad chord.
You're a bad cold.
Yeah, there we
The
go.
readers of this podcast encountered some technical difficulties,
Mm.
but maybe Colton's magical editing skills will fix that.
No, they won't.
I cannot remember where I am, so...
Victor Crumb.
Victor Crumb and his fellow Durmstrang students had settled themselves at the Slytherin table. Harry could see Malfoy, Crabbe, and Goyle looking very smug about this. As he watched, Malfoy bent forward to speak to Crumb. Yeah, that's right. Swarm up to him, Malfoy, said Ron scathingly. I bet Crumb can see right through him, though. Bet he gets people fawning over him all the time. Where'd you reckon they're going to sleep? We could offer him space in our dormitory. Harry, I wouldn't mind giving him my bed. I could give him a camp bed. Hermione snorted.
They look a lot happier than the bottom
Said Harry.
I don't know how to
The
say it.
Durmstrang students were pulling off their heavy furs and looking up at the starry black ceiling with expressions of interest. A couple of them were picking up the golden plates and goblets and examining them, apparently impressed. Up at the staff table, Filch, the caretaker, was adding chairs. He was wearing his moldy old tailcoat in honor of the occasion. Harry was surprised to see that he added 4 chairs, 2 on the either side of Dumbledore's.
But there are only 2 extra people.
Harry said.
Why is Filch putting up 4 chairs? Who else is coming?
Hey,
A little bit.
said Ron vaguely. He was still staring avidly at Crumb. It's Ron? Never mind. When all the students had entered the hall and settled down at their house tables, the staff entered, filing up to the top table and taking their seats. Last in line were Professor Dumbledore, Professor Karkaroff, and Madame Maxime. She's the mean one in pink, right?
I don't know. No.
She's cool.
She's cool? Okay, cool. Good. I'm glad she's cool. When their head mistress appeared, the pupils from Beauxbatons leapt to their feet. A few of the Hogwarts students laughed. The Beauxbatons party appeared quite unembarrassed, however, and did not resume their seats until Madame Maxime had sat down on Dumbledore's left-hand side. Dumbledore remained standing, and a silence fell over the Great Hall. And Madame Maxine's just a tall one, I remember.
Yep. Half trying to,
Okay, it's
even though
somebody.
she denies it.
Oh, she's the one that Hagrid wants to bang.
Yeah, she shot him.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, ghost and most particularly guest.
It's pretty good, Dumbledore.
Yeah.
He's supposed
Said
to be
Dumbledore.
old.
That's old.
You have to go, "Good evening."
Oh yeah, I got
Oh, yeah.
I got to put more of a beaming around at the foreign students. Now you've. I have great pleasure in welcoming you to Hogwarts. I'm gonna go back to the opening. I hope and trust that your stay here will be both comfortable and enjoyable. One of the Beauxbatons girls, still clutching a muffler around her head, gave what was unmistakably a derisive, that's a word, laugh.
That is a word. That is correct.
No one's making you stay.
Hermione whispered, bristling at her. Okay.
Dumbledore.
The tournament will be officially opened at the end of the feast, said Dumbledore. I now invite you all to eat, drink, and make yourselves at home. He sat down, and Harry saw Karkaroff lean forward at once and engage him in conversation. The plates in front of them were filled with food as usual. The house elves and the kitchen their slaves seemed to be pulled out from the stops. There was a greater variety of dishes in front of them than Harry had ever seen, including several that were definitely foreign. "What's that?" said Ron, pointing at a large dish of some shellfish stew that stood beside a large steak and kidney pudding. That's so British,
Bouillon.
said Hermione.
The shellfish stew sounds good, though.
Bless you, said Ron. Now you're lying.
It's French. I had it on holiday summer before last. It's very nice.
I'll take your word for it, said Ron, helping himself to black pudding. The great hall seemed somehow much more crowded than usual, even though there were barely 20 additional students there. Perhaps it was because their differently colored uniforms stood out so clearly against the black of the Hogwarts robes. Now that they had removed their furs, the Durmstrang students were revealed to be wearing robes of a deep blood red. Hagrid sidled into the hall through a door behind the staff table 20 minutes after the start of the feast. He slid into his seat at the end and waved at Harry, Ron, and Hermione in a very heavily bandaged hand.
Skirt's doing all right, Hagrid.
The other one was better, man.
Who be Hagrid?
I'm not good. Thriving. I'm just gonna do the same voice for
Hagrid.
for everyone.
That's gonna be helpful.
So say it. Okay, restart it. Do Harry.
Skirt's doing all right, Hagrid.
Harry called.
Thriving.
Hagrid called back happily. Yeah, I'll just bet they are, said Ron quietly. Looks like they finally found a fruit they like, doesn't it?
Yeah, the way you've been doing Ron is he's just like full volume saying everything.
Yeah.
I get the impression that most of this
He's an
scene they're whispering amongst themselves in their groups.
And Ron is just an idiot. Ron said quietly. Looks like they finally found a fruit they like, doesn't it? Hagrid's fingers. At that moment, a voice said, "This is up to anyone."
Excuse me, are you waiting for the bouillabaisse? That's my really bad French.
It's a girl.
That was a girl.
That was a girl voice.
It was a girl from Beauxbatons.
Yeah, I know, but that's the girl voice. I'm sticking with it.
Yeah,
I
no.
committed, and that's what's happening.
Who had laughed during Dumbledore's speech. She had finally removed her muffler. Oh well. Let me drink more. Oh, you guys both finished.
Yeah.
It was very good. And good job, Colton.
Thank you.
A long sheet of silvery blonde hair fell almost to her waist. She had large, deep blue eyes and a very white, even teeth. Ron went purple. He stared up at her, opened his mouth to reply, but nothing came out except a faint gurgling noise.
Yeah, love it.
Said Harry, pushing the dish toward the girl. This is so British right here.
This is the girl being French.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Are you have a finished visit?
Yeah. Ron said breathlessly. Yeah, it was excellent. The girl picked up the dish and carried it carefully off to the Ravenclaw table. Ron was still goggling at the girl as though he had never seen one before. Harry started to laugh. The sound seemed to jog Ron back to his senses. She's a villa. Oh, no shit. Oh, yeah, that's me, yeah.
Yeah, that's you.
He said hoarsely to Harry,
Of course she isn't.
said Hermione tartly.
I don't see anyone else gaping at her like an idiot.
But she wasn't entirely right about that. As the girl crossed the hall, many boys' heads turned, and some of them seemed to have become temporarily speechless, just like Ron. I'm telling you, that's not a normal girl, said Ron, leaning sideways so he could keep a clear view of her. They don't make them like that at Hogwarts.
Oh, they make them okay at Hogwarts.
Said Harry without thinking. Joe happened to be sitting only a few places away from the girl with the silver hair. That's his. He likes Joe, right?
Yeah, he does.
They marry?
She's the one that, so when the movies came out and they cast her as an Asian actress,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's pretty obviously Asian in the books.
Mhm.
A lot of Harry Potter fans got really upset because they were convinced that she was a white British girl. That
Oh my
actually
God.
happened.
That's just what they wanted it to be.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Okay. So, Hermione,
When you put your eyes back in,
said Hermione briskly.
you'll be able to see who's just arrived.
She was pointing up at the staff table. The 2 remaining empty seats had just been filled. Ludo Bagman was now sitting on Professor Karkaroff's other side, while Mr. Crouch, Percy's boss, was next to Madame Maxime.
Oh, that's oh, never mind.
Is he like the old guy?
Yeah, he's like David Tennant's dad in the movie. Is that who I'm thinking of?
David Tatum.
Tennant?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Barty Crouch Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's Doctor Who. The actor. I'm talking about the actor.
Yeah.
I just know that.
Here.
Where are we? Oh, what are they doing here?
Said Harry in surprise.
They organized the Triwizard Tournament, didn't they?
Said Hermione.
I suppose they wanted to be here to see start.
When the second course arrived, they noticed the number of unfamiliar desserts, too. Ron examined an odd sort of pale blancmange, I don't know, closely, then moved it carefully a few inches to his right, so that it would be clearly visible from the Ravenclaw table. The girl, who looked like a Vila, appeared to have eaten enough, however, and did not come over to get it. Once the golden plates had been wiped clean, Dumbledore stood up again. A pleasant sort of tension seemed to fill the hall now. Harry felt a slight thrill of excitement. I need you to feel that excitement. Wondering what was coming. Several seats down from them, Fred and George were leaning forward, staring at Dumbledore with great concentration. The moment has come. Okay, that's it now, said Dumbledore, smiling around at the sea of upturned faces. The Triwizard Tournament is about to start. I would like to say a few words of explanation before we bring in the casket.
The what?
Ron shrugged. Harry muttered. Wait, I got that. Whatever.
Wrong.
It happens all at once. Oh no. just to clarify the procedure that we will be following this year, but first, let me introduce, for those who do not know them, Mr. Bertermius Crouch, head of the Department of International Magical Cooperation. There was a smattering of polite applause.
Like a golf clap.
And Mr. Ludo Bagman, head of the Department of Magical Games and Sports.
I'm imagining Dumbledore right now as like some like
Fat
vaguely,
Santa?
New England like gym coach.
Okay, yeah.
That's what you're reminding me of.
I'm just going wherever my mind takes me.
Slightly overweight, balding.
Sorry about that. I hate connecting. Okay, damn it, back to it. There was a much louder round of applause for Bagman than for Crouch, perhaps because of his fame as a beater.
It's a Quidditch
Explain.
player. It's a Quidditch player.
Okay.
It's a position in the game.
Yeah, they have a bat.
Yeah, they do beat people.
That sounds problematic.
Well, they're supposed to beat the balls, but they also beat
It's
people.
like
'cause
rugby,
if
but
they're-
flying.
Yeah. I mean, no, but yeah. They hit the balls.
You know, there's people that actually play Quidditch.
Yeah,
Around the
Oh my god,
broomsticks
that's
and,
so
like,
fucking cool.
I did that once.
Should do it.
Oh god.
That's like LARPing, but worse.
There was a I went. There was a group of people
LARPing, but
that were
better.
doing it, and they were like, "Do you want to play?" I was like, "Sure." They had brooms, and you run around with like brooms. It was really stupid, but it was fun. I had a good time.
Yeah, my high school had a Quidditch club. Serious, they would practice on the football field. Okay.
It is really stupid, but it's.
Or simply because he looked so much more likable. He acknowledged it with a jovial wave of his hand. Bartimaeus
I really
Crouch.
like that word, jovial.
Bartimaeus Crouch did not smile or wave when his name was announced. Remembering him in his neat suit at the Quidditch World Cup, Harry thought he looked strange in his wizard robes. His toothbrush, mustache, and severe parting looked very odd next to Dumbledore's long white hair and beard. Mr. Bagman and Mr. Crouch have worked tirelessly over the last few months on the arrangements of the Triwizard Tournament, Dumbledore continued. And they will be joining myself, Professor Karkaroff, and Madame Maxime on the panel that will judge the champions' efforts. At the mention of the word champions, quote unquote, the attentiveness of the listening students seemed to sharpen. Perhaps Dumbledore had noticed their sudden stillness, for he smiled as he said, "The casket, then, if you please, Mr. Filch." Filch, who had been lurking unnoticed in the far corner of the hall, now approached Dumbledore, carrying a great wooden chest encrusted with the jewels. It looked extremely old. A murmur of excitement and interest arose from the watching students.
Oh my god, it's a casket.
Dennis Creevy actually...
That's the murmur of excitement.
Okay. Dennis Creevy actually stood on his chair to see it properly, but being so tiny, his head hardly rose above anyone else's.
That nerd.
Right? We might need to take a break so we can make more drinks, by the way,
Yeah,
because I kind of want another one.
we can do that. No problem.
But let's just keep going.
Well, we'll finish the chapter because we have another
We'll
thing
take
to
a
read as
yeah,
well.
yeah,
Yeah.
there isn't that many more pages up. It's like
Yeah.
6 more pages.
No, yeah, so let's get... Okay. The instructions for the task of the champions will face this year have already been examined by Mr. Crouch and Mr. Bagman.
I gotta say, I really like your Dumbledore. That
Thank
you're
you.
doing
It's
right now.
evolving.
It's evolved into
progressing.
like a real character.
I'm figuring
now.
it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's so nice. As Filch placed the chest carefully on the table before him.
Because Dumbledore is just normally so gentle in the movies and stuff, what I'm used to, and I'm really liking the
The
more
direction.
aggressive
Yeah.
Dumbledore.
Okay, back to it. And they have made the necessary arrangements for each challenge. There will be 3 tasks, spaced throughout the school year, and they will test the champions in many different ways. Their magical prowess, their daring, fake, their powers of deduction and seduction, And of course, their ability to cope with danger.
Their powers of seduction.
By the way, we're gonna be adding some things.
That
In
would
there.
be-
Feel free.
that
Feel
would
free
be
to
a-
add stuff.
That would be a really good twist in that story, in this whole story of that deduction, seduction. I'm like,
At this last word, the hall was filled with silence. Silence. So absolute that nobody seemed to be breathing. Don't breathe. As you know, these champions compete in the tournament.
oh, wait.
Dumbledore went on calmly. It's the calmly meme. I did it. Okay, see, if it was the movie version, that would be accurate.
Wait. I lost my. Okay, I got it.
Wait, okay. One from each of the participating schools. They will be marked on how well they perform each of the tournament tasks, and champion with the highest total after task 3 will win the Tri-Wizard Cup. The champions will be chosen by the impartial selector, the Goblet of Fire. Roll credits. Roll credits, boom.
Okay.
Credits. Okay. No, we're gonna keep going.
I don't know how to roll credits in a podcast.
I don't know, figure it out. Dumbledore now took out his wand and tapped it 3 times upon the top of the casket. Thank you. That was cool. That's not a casket.
Hold on.
I love how you have to. Okay. The lid creaked slowly open.
Nice.
Dumbledore reached inside it.
It is a magical lid, so I imagine it would make that actual sound.
Dumbledore reached inside it and pulled out a large, roughly hewn wooden cup. It would have been entirely unremarkable had it not been full to the brim of Jägermeister. No, with dancing blue-white flames.
Harry Potter and the Goblet of Jaeger. Way more exciting movie.
Dumbledore closed the casket and placed the goblet carefully on top of it, where it could be clearly visible to everyone in the hall. Anybody wishing to submit themselves as champion must write their name and school clearly upon the slip of parchment and drop it into the goblet, said Dumbledore. Aspiring champions have 24 hours in which to put their names forward. Tomorrow night, Halloween, the goblets will return in the names of the 3 it has judged most worthy to represent their schools. The goblets will be placed in the entrance hall tonight. Oh, it's a narration.
You got too into it.
Wait.
Yeah, no, it's
No,
still
it's-
Dumbledore. It's still Dumbledore.
Where's the...
What the?
Yeah, he's talking
Where it will
about-
be freely accessible to all these wishing to compete. This was not narration. To ensure that no underage student yields to temptation, that's okay, said Dumbledore, I will be drawing an age line around the Goblet of Fire once it has been placed in the entrance hall. Nobody under the age of 17 will be able to cross the line. God. Why did I... I did this to myself. Didn't I?
Yeah,
I didn't read it before. Finally, I wish to impress any of you wishing to compete that this tournament is not to be entered into lightly. Once a champion has been selected by the Goblet of Fire, he or she is obliged to see the tournament through the end. This is almost child abuse.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely, yeah.
Well, I mean, in the Wizarding world, 17 is like 18 in our world,
Oh,
which
yeah, that
is
makes sense then.
weird and doesn't make a
It's
lot of
weird.
sense.
It's weird.
But
Anyways, the placing of your name in the goblet constitutes a binding, magical contract. There can be no change of heart once you have become a champion. Please be very sure, therefore, that you are wholeheartedly prepared to play before you drop your name into the
what
goblet.
would be the consequence if you put your name in and refused?
Yeah, what would it be?
Would you
That's
die?
an idea.
They execute you?
Oh, God.
Not anything magic with an axe.
Yeah, firing line. the only use of guns in the wizarding world is for
Yeah,
execution.
that's the only reason they keep them, for the firing. Would they be like muskets or
Yeah, muskets
or
probably.
like AR-15s?
I like the idea of AR-15.
Okay, now I think it's time for bed. Good night to you all.
Lethal ejection.
Who's Fred? I'll be Fred Weasley. He's like Ron, but older. An age line? Fred Weasley said, his eyes glinting, as they all made their way. Wait, he's the twin.
Yep.
Oh, I thought he was his dad. I was like, why would his dad be there? Made their way across the hall to the doors to the entrance hall. Well, oh golly, oh gee. That's what Fred Weasley's gonna be now. That should be fooled by an aging potion, shouldn't it? And once your name's in the goblet, you're laughing. It can't tell whether you're 17 or not,
But I don't think anyone under 17 will stand a chance.
said Hermione.
We just haven't learned enough.
George? You beat George, come on.
Speak for yourself.
What?
Said George shortly.
You'll try and get in, won't you, Harry?
No,
I don't know who I am.
you were supposed to said George shortly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And then I said you're...
yeah.
Well,
Continue. Starting with Harry.
Harry thought briefly of Dumbledore's insistence that nobody under 17 should submit their name. But then the wonderful picture of himself winning the Triwizard Tournament filled his mind again. He wondered how angry Dumbledore would be if someone younger than 17 did not find a way to get over the age line.
Dig.
Where is he? Said Ron, who wasn't listening to a word. Ron is an idiot. He wasn't listening to a word of this conversation, but looking through the crowd to see what had become of Crumb. Dumbledore didn't say where Drumstrong people are sleeping, did he? But the squire has answered almost instantaneously. Instantly. They were level with the Slytherin table now, and Karkaroff had Karkaroff. That sounds like a Mortal Kombat character. But he's like one of the ninja guys.
Yeah, but he's like
Maybe he has like sand powers or like
but he's
dirt.
like Russian or something.
yeah. He had just bustled to his students.
Back to the ship then.
He was saying,
Victor, how are you feeling? Did you eat enough? Should I send for some mulled wine from the kitchen?
What the hell was that?
That's Karkaroff.
Harry saw Crumb shake his head as he pulled his furs back on.
We're not doing realistic voices.
I know, I'm just enjoying the fact that you're trying to struggle to find different accents for everything.
Yeah, we're each doing like...
Wait, where?
Harry saw Crumb shake his... Wait, no. Yeah, Harry saw Crumb shake his head as he pulled his furs back on.
Professor, I would like some wine.
Said one of the other Dormstrong boys, hopefully.
I wasn't offering it to you, Pentecost.
Snapped Karkaroff, his warmly paternal air vanishing in an instant.
I didn't get a paternal air from him in the first place.
It vanished.
I notice you have dribbled food all down the front of your robes again. Disgusting, boy.
Karkaroff turned and led his students toward the doors, reaching them at exactly the same moment as Harry, Ron, and Hermione. Harry stopped to let him walk through first.
Thank you,
said Karkaroff carelessly, glancing at him. And then Karkaroff froze. He turned his head back to Harry and stared at him as though he couldn't believe his eyes. Behind their headmaster, the students from Dormstrong came to a halt too. Karkaroff's eyes moved slowly up Harry's face and fixed upon his scar. The Dormstrong students were staring curiously at Harry too. Out of the corner of his eye, Harry saw comprehension dawn on a few of their faces. The boy with food all down his front nudged the girl next to him and pointed openly at Harry's forehead. Yeah, that's Harry Potter. said a growling voice behind them.
Growling.
Professor Karkaroff spun around. Mad-Eye Moody was standing there. Leaning heavily on his staff.
He's the guy.
Oh, he's with the robot eye.
Yeah.
His magical eye
It's a
glaring.
magical.
It's
The
a
robot.
magical robot.
Yeah.
His magical eye glaring unblinkingly at the dorm string headmaster. The color drained from Karkaroff's face as Harry watched. A terrible look of mingled fury and fear came over him.
You.
He said, staring at Moody as though unsure he was really seeing him. Me, said Moody grimly. And unless you've got anything to say in Potter, Karkaroff, you might want to move. You're blocking the doorway. It was true. Half the students in the hall were now waiting behind them, looking over one another's shoulders to see what was causing the holdup. Without another word, Professor Karkaroff swept his students away with him. Moody watched him until he was out of sight, his magical Piracy's robot eye fixed upon his back. A look of intense dislike. Then you can't mix sci-fi with fantasy. You can't do that. But sci-fi is just fantasy in space. Don't get me into it. Especially Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's a space fantasy. We can't go an episode without mentioning Star Wars.
It's impossible.
Yeah. Okay. As the next day was Saturday, most students would normally have breakfasted late. Breakfasted. I read that wrong. Harry, Ron, and Hermione, however, were not alone in rising much earlier than they usually did on weekends. When they went down into the entrance hall, they saw about 20 people milling around it. Some of them eating toast, all examining the goblet of fire. It had been placed at the center of the hall on the stool that normally bore the sorting hat. A thin golden line had traced on the floor, forming a circle 10 feet around in every direction. Anyone put their name in it? Ron asked the third-year girl eagerly. Third-year girl.
All the time, Stormlight.
Okay, she replied.
But I haven't seen anyone from Hogwarts yet. Bet someone else will put here last night after we went to bed.
Said Harry.
I would have, if it had been me, wouldn't have wanted everything watching. What if the goblet just gobbled you back up out again?
Someone laughed at Harry. Ha 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 ha. Turning, he saw Fred, George, and Lee Jordan, basketball player, hurrying down the staircase. All three of them looking extremely excited.
Let's from now on, Lee Jordan will be Michael Jordan.
Yeah. Done it, Fred said in triumphant whisper to Harry, Ron, and Hermione. Just taking it. What? Said Ron. The aging potion. Dung brains, said Fred.
George. One drop each. I don't remember what voice I was doing for Fred.
Just
For
that
George, I
works.
mean.
Rubbing his hands together with glee.
We only need a few months older.
Oh, who? Okay, I don't want to be Lee Jordan. Come on, someone. I'm like everybody.
Okay.
What would Lee Jordan say?
What would Lee Jordan
without
say?
being racist?
No.
Oh,
Don't just.
yeah.
Just.
Okay. We're going to split 1,000 guardians between the three of us if one of us wins. I'm making him an
Okay,
Irish.
he's Irish. He's very Irish, which is racist, but that's okay. It's Irish.
But it's okay.
Said Lee, grinning broadly.
I'm not sure this is going to work, you know.
Said Hermione warmingly.
I'm sure Dumbledore would have thought of it.
Fred, George, and Lee ignored her. Ready? Fred said to the other two, quivering with excitement. Come on, then. I'll go first. Harry watched, fascinated as Fred pulled a parchment out of his pocket bearing the words, Fred Weasley, Hogwarts. Fred walked right up to the edge of the line and stood there, rocking on his toes like a diver preparing for a 50-foot drop. Then, with the eyes of every person in the entrance hall upon him, he took a great breath and stepped over the line. For a split second, Harry thought it had worked. George certainly thought so, for he let out a yell of triumph. Triumph! And leapt after Fred. But next moment, there was a loud sizzling sound, and both twins were hurled out of the golden circle as though they had been thrown by an invisible shot putter. They landed painfully.
Ah.
10 feet away on a cold stone floor. And to add insult to injury, there was a loud popping noise, and both of them sprouted identical long white beards. The entrance hall rang with laughter. Even Fred and George joined in. Once they had gotten to their feet and taken a good look at each other's beards. I did warn you, said in a deep, amused voice, and everyone turned to see Professor Dumbledore coming out of the great hall. He surveyed Fred and George, his eyes twinkling. I suggest you both go up to Madame Pomfrey.
That was a really big jump.
That was.
Well, yeah. She is already tending to Miss Fawcett.
Fawcett.
Fawcett. Water faucet. Of Ravenclaw. And Mr. Summers of Hufflepuff, both of whom decided to age themselves up a little too. Huh? Though I must say, neither of their beards is any... Neither of their beards is any... Why is it so funny? Neither of their beards is anything like as fine as yours. Fred and George set off for the hospital wing. My voice.
Take a short
This is
break.
whipped cream. Accompanied by Lee, who was howling with laughter, and Harry, Ron, and Hermione, also chortling, went into breakfast. That's a word.
British word.
That's such a word, isn't it? The decorations in the Great Hall had changed this morning, as it was Halloween. Cloud of live bats were fluttering around the enchanted ceiling. COVID. While hundreds.
That is not safe.
No.
So nice.
While hundreds of carved pumpkins leered from every corner, Harry led the way over to Dean and Seamus, who were discussing those Hogwarts students of 17 or over who might be entering. There's a rumor. No. Someone, come on, guys. Someone step up. Come
Okay.
on. Okay.
This is Dean, right?
Dean, what would you sound like? Everybody's just like a boring guy.
Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah,
Here, I got some.
he did
yeah,
a Ginny
yeah,
before
okay.
Harry, so yeah.
There's a rumor going around that Warrington got up early and put his name in.
This is like really boring.
Oh my god.
Dean told Harry. That big bloke from Slytherin who looks like a sloth. Oh, yeah. Harry, who played Quidditch against Warrington, shook his head in disgust.
We can have a Slytherin champion. Oh, this is Seamus. Oh, the Hufflepuffs are talking about jiggery.
Said Seamus contemptuously.
But I wouldn't have thought that he would have wanted to risk his good looks.
Listen!
Said Hermione suddenly. People were cheering out in the entrance hall. They all swiveled around in their seats and saw Angelina Johnson coming into the hall. Grinning in an embarrassed sort of way, a tall black girl who played Chaser. Okay, J.K. Rowling, that's okay. Who played Chaser on the Gryffindor Quidditch team. Angelina came over to them, stepped down, and said,
Well, I've done it! Just put my name in.
That was something. I'm not sure what it was.
Yeah,
but
I don't
something.
know. I don't know.
I like it. You're kidding, said Ron, looking impressed.
Are you 17 then?
Asked Harry. Course she is. You can't see a beard, can you?
I had my birthday last week.
Said Angela. It's you again.
Oh, shoot. Well, I'm glad someone's from Gryffindor is entering.
Said Hermione.
I really hope you get it, Angelina. Thanks, Hermione. Ah, crap.
Thanks, Hermione. Oh, crap. I love it. Said Angelina, smiling at her.
Yeah, better you than Pretty Boy Jiggery.
Said Seamus, causing several Hufflepuffs passing their table to scowl heavily at them. What are we gonna do today, then? Ron asked Harry and Hermione when they had finished breakfast and were leaving the Grey Hall.
We haven't been down to visit Hogwarts yet.
Okay, said Ron. Oh, said Harry, said Ron. Just as long as he doesn't ask us to donate a few fingers to the Scroots. A look of great excitement suddenly dawned on Hermione's face.
I've just realized I haven't asked Hagrid to join Spiel yet.
She said brightly.
Wait for me, will you, while I nip upstairs and get the badges?
What is it with her? I went like SoCal for a second, said Ron, exasperated as Hermione ran away. What is it with her? As Hermione ran up to the marble staircase.
Oi, Ron!
Said Harry suddenly.
It's your friend!
The students from Bobbletongs were coming through the front doors from the grounds. Among them, the Vila girl. Those gathered around the goblet of fire stood back to let them pass, watching eagerly. This is a lot longer. Why is this? Okay. Madame Maxine entered a hall behind her students and organized them into a line. One by one, the Bobbleton students stepped across the H-line, dropped their slips of parchment into the blue-white flames. As each name entered a fire, it turned briefly red and emitted sparks.
And those sparks led us to a quick break.
Yes.
So we can go make another.
I need a drink. My voice.
Hey, we're back from break. We're going to stop reading now.
Yeah. I had enough.
Fun stuff.
I had enough of narrating. My voice was going out. It was fun, though.
Yeah.
This chapter just ended up being longer than I thought it would be, even though it's a shorter one.
It's really not a long chapter, but
No,
we're taking
but for
a long
reading.
time.
Well, because we're giving it life, okay?
Sure.
We're not just reading it, okay?
Also, weird accents and like.
But we're going to get this episode moving back along here. And we're going to get into some Harry Potter quizzes. So I think just to kind of get us into that quiz mode.
First Harry Potter quiz.
Do you have a phone?
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah, totally.
Look
We
up.
have to introduce our other guests if they would like.
Yeah,
to
so we have another one of my coworkers and
keep
friends
your
sitting in.
Your name?
No, I said my name. I said Tora.
Kara.
Kara, okay,
Okay.
cool.
I'm anonymous.
Yeah, her name's Kara, and she's cool. She's gonna sit in and enjoy this madness.
She's also going to take the quiz too.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, she is.
Okay.
You're part of the drunk.
Everyone.
It's now. It's happening.
Everyone pull up BuzzFeed. Just type in
Oh, can you fix that? There we go. It's a bad cable. I promise I'm going to go get some more.
You probably won't even hear
What
it.
are we typing in?
Type in the sorting quiz that will tell you which Hogwarts house you truly belong in.
The sorting quiz, BuzzFeed.
If you type in just Harry Potter, who are you quiz?
Is it okay? I got it.
Okay,
the wrong one.
And you said BuzzFeed, right?
Yeah, BuzzFeed. The sorting quiz will tell you which Hogwarts house you belong to. Is this it?
Yeah. Does it start with you made it to Hogwarts, which means you've already bought a wand?
Is it the first question? You bought a wand. Yeah.
I think that cord is the bane.
Of your existence.
Yeah.
Wiggle it on your end. That's what she said.
Oh, I was turned. Was my mic turned off?
So this is the one I have pulled up, guys. It looks like this.
Okay.
The sorting.
Nice, cool, we got it.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
I want to be back on.
All right.
Oh, yep, that's it.
All right. So we're gonna figure out which Hogwarts house we are.
Okay.
And for people that aren't Harry Potter nerds or just don't know anything about it, you have Hogwarts, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, and Gryffindor. Wait.
Slytherin.
Slytherin. Hogwarts is the school. Yeah. Sorry about that.
My house is Hogwarts.
Yeah. So, can you just explain to us what each house, like what they are, what they represent?
Okay, so Slytherin is like ambitious. They're like the most ambitious students. And then Hufflepuff, they're known as like the finders and kind of just like
The stoners.
Whoa. No, it's just kind of like the other Rowena Ravenclaw like accepted them.
Their
when the other houses were
dorms are next to the kitchens. I remember that weird fact about Harry Potter that apparently their dorms were next to the kitchens.
Really?
They're definitely the stoners.
And then we have Ravenclaw,
Yeah, they're like the smartest, the most
smart
logical.
ones.
Yeah.
and then Gryffindor. Everyone should know
the
that.
most brave, the most daring.
All
But
the
then-
important characters,
oh God.
you know.
Okay, you've made it to Hogwarts, which means you've already bought a wand from Ollivander's. What material is at its core?
Ooh.
Phoenix feather, dragon heartstring, or unicorn hair?
I'm gonna say unicorn hair because that's
Unicorns, unicorns are the national animal of Scotland.
They are.
So it proves they
So
can be
they're real.
That is actually the national animal of
No,
Scotland.
seriously, yeah. Okay. I guess you're doing this.
During the end of your exams, you notice one of your classmates was using an enchanted quill. Ooh, cheaters. You come to the top. You come top of the class anyway, and they are second. What do? Nothing.
I like that.
Don't care.
Well, the professor immediately cheating is wrong.
Yeah, nothing.
So like you would give them a high five for managing to sneak the quill into the exam, right? So you're gonna do nothing.
I would
not
encourage the other students to admit what they've done to the professor. I'm just kind of like pressure them
That's
into
what I
feeling
think.
bad.
I think
See,
it's
none of-
like,
None of these.
you dirty cheater.
None of these fit me because I would probably do nothing, no matter what. I don't care. But
Yeah, I guess I would do nothing too because I do
but
nothing.
the nothing here says. But if I didn't come atop, I would definitely tell.
See,
So
you
that's
would
like
just
petty.
do nothing.
I would just be like, I don't care. That's their problem. not mine.
Okay,
Next question.
you would be most hurt if a person called you weak, ignorant, unkind, or boring. For me, it would be boring because there's no way I'm boring. You're boring. You're a boring person.
That's such an insult.
Okay.
Yeah, no, boring.
Okay. You're locked in a duel. What's yours, Tora, by the way?
I said weak.
Weak.
And
Weak.
Oh,
I chose.
Dan, you want to go?
Gonna cry?
I chose. Boring. I chose boring because boring means I'm not cool.
I do.
I missed the part where that's
know
my
where he
problem.
works too.
No one else got that.
I missed the part where that's my problem.
Oh hell no! Oh hell no!
Spider-Man.
Um,
I don't know.
Bully McGuire.
Yeah.
He deserves an F. Okay. You're locked in a duel with a skilled opponent. They fire an unknown spell at you. You shout.
Protego.
I don't.
That's the shield charm.
Stupefy, does that make you dumb?
No,
Stupefy
Stupefy
knocks
is
you
just
out.
like,
Knocks you out. What's Crucio?
It's
That's
it's the torture.
Oh, I'll do that one.
Oh my god.
Just torture them. I mean, because you don't know what they're firing at you.
Yeah, I'll take that one.
I'm gonna do a
It's
stupefy.
a torture.
Expelliarmus is disarm for it.
And I wish they had the killing curse on here.
People who don't know
Oh
anything.
Jesus.
Abracadabra or Evabra or whatever.
Avada Kedavra.
It is your 5th year at Hogwarts,
Avada
and you've just received a howler from your parents. What for?
What is a
What's that?
howler?
It's a note that yells at you.
Yeah, I want of everybody.
I wish that's the of all Harry Potter things, that's the one I wish existed in real life. Like a paper that you open it and it yells at you.
So for me, it would be sneaking into the Forbidden Forest on a dare.
Same.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I used to do a lot of
Yeah,
dares.
that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Which of these Dumbledore quotations speaks to you? Pity the living, and above all, those who live without love. Blah, 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 blah.
This is a boring one,
I pick them.
but I'm going to pick it matters not what someone is born, but what they grow to be.
That's what I
Yeah.
picked.
But that's a more boring
These
question.
are all boring. Which of these most accurately describes your relationship with your closest friends? I love surrounding myself. I have very few close friends.
You get drunk and do a podcast.
I tend to be very few close friends that I've trusted my life with, but instead of trust life, do a podcast. I think that's more fitting.
Yeah.
Which of the skills are you most...
I would equate doing the podcast to trusting you with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which of your
Makes sense.
skills are you most proud of? Ability to absorb new information, make new friends, get what I want, keep secrets.
New information.
I guess it's new information for me because
This sounds like a quiz that's taking itself seriously.
It's
I don't
taking
like
itself
that.
way too seriously.
Oh.
The first Quidditch match of the season is approaching, and you can't wait to get involved. What role are you playing?
Beater.
Yeah, Peter.
Actually, no. Be in the crowd.
I want to
That's where
be the
you can
beater.
drink.
Oh, that's true.
You can't drink while you're playing. You get
And I want to
disqualified.
beat people
I
up.
assume you either get disqualified or would just lose.
Okay.
Sorry about the technical difficulties for everyone listening at home.
Okay.
There we go.
That mic is, I mean, that cord is just the worst.
Yeah. What was that?
I think we all know the answer. My next question.
Gotta
No,
get a new X.
You're allowed a pet at Hogwarts, an owl, a cat, or a toad. I know what you would choose.
Yeah.
You like owls.
I love them.
Cat, definitely.
Nothing. I can't be trusted to look after a pet. That's me in real life.
Definitely an owl, and I'll tell you why. Because the owl, if it's a big enough owl, an owl can definitely kill a toad. And if it's a big enough owl and a small enough cat, it can also kill the cat. So owl wins
God.
in all of those
owls
situations.
They're actually really dumb birds.
Yeah.
And they're known to be wise. It's just they have such good natural
Like, if you wanna
senses
place
and
the
reflexes
training,
that
they'll
they
give you
seem
the
like
training
they're
for-
tactical hunters.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Okay.
You can't just ask it anything.
It's Saturday. You finished your homework,
No.
and you have some free time. You record a podcast. That's what you do.
Yeah.
You decide to spend some time away from your common room. Where do you go? The kitchen.
In there.
Hi guys, what are you talking about, huh?
The room of requirement.
Oh
I
yeah.
didn't know what that was.
Explain that to our viewers or
What's the room
listeners.
of requirement?
It's just like a room that will give you like what you asked for, but you have to like focus on it as you're asking. You know, like if you want like a training room, it'll give you like a place with like a mat, and the equipment that you need. So,
If you needed a studio for recording a podcast,
I want a Marshall half
yeah,
stack.
definitely.
You shouldn't go there.
well,
Yeah.
you wouldn't wish for a Marshall Halfstack. You would wish for a recording studio for music and it would have a Marshall Halfstack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so
it's a
it
room.
gives you a room.
It's a room that. Well,
Hi.
it's time to wake up, guys.
I'm glad that wasn't licensed. Because we'd be running into some issues right now. What would you see? Crap.
That's fine.
What would you see in the mirror of
Erised.
Oh, this is the mirror that tells you what.
Your
It sh-
It
greatest
shows your dead
desire.
parents.
Yeah.
What your greatest desire is, yeah.
Well, what I see, I would see Jason,
The killer or my dad?
your dad.
These are all like I guess surrounded by riches. I mean, why wouldn't you want that?
A marvelous adventure, because then I could be like Indiana Jones.
That's true.
I wouldn't see myself in a marvelous adventure. I would see myself dressed as Indiana Jones, doing cool shit. That's how I
better
interpret
movie.
that.
No, I'm
Yeah.
just kidding.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I would see by myself experience a marvelous adventure. That means a remake of Indiana Jones 4, starring me instead of Shia LaBeouf.
Wait, a remake of the fourth one? There's not even a fourth one.
A fourth movie, then?
Okay. Starring you as Shia LaBeouf?
No, yeah, me as Shia LaBeouf, and then the character is Shia LaBeouf, not the character that he plays, and it's better than the movie actually was.
Good.
Yeah.
Choose a Deathly Hollow, Elder Wand, Resurrection Stone, Invisibility.
Visibility, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
You can just get up so many
Because-
shenanigans with that.
Here's the thing: you don't have to know magic to use that.
No,
It just
it's
works.
true. Yeah.
As Todd Howard says, it just works.
It just works. See that,
The
Malvin?
other one is like a
You can
great
climb it.
wand in
It just
the middle.
works.
It
It just
has
works.
no limitations at all. It can grant everything.
Resurrection Stone, I assume, could bring someone back from the dead.
Yeah, but then they're not the same person that they used to be. So
Well, okay.
Yep.
I'm wiggling it.
Which path do you intend to follow after leaving Hogwarts? Travel.
These
for-
all suck.
I'm gonna say travel for a while before committing to a career because
Yes.
there's a lot of shenanigans I can get into
Yeah,
during that.
that's the most ambiguous one.
Yeah.
Do
For
it.
example, while you're traveling, you could do a traveling podcast.
Yes, which maybe we'll
Yeah.
do. Road trip.
And finally, we know that the sorting hat takes into account your preferences. So which Hogwarts house do you feel you identify most closely? Boring.
Hufflepuff is the one
This
that's
is so
just in there,
boring.
right?
yeah, they're just like the finders. Yeah, and
Aw.
like
Oh, this is lame.
Yeah, I got Gryffindor.
I'm
Stupid.
35% Gryffindor, 28%
I got-
Slytherin,
You were all the things. Mine is
20%
6%,
Ravenclaw, and 17%
I
Hufflepuff.
don't know, like
Yeah, I got 44% Gryffindor, 30% Hufflepuff, 16% Ravenclaw, and 10% Slytherin.
All mine were
What'd you get, Tori?
even, like, I guess 28% was the highest.
I got 42% Gryffindor, 21% Ravenclaw, 19% Slytherin, and
I don't think we had Gryffindor answers.
I'm more Gryffindor than you. Yeah, I'm 44%.
The only thing I got really high on.
I almost got Slytherin, it looks like.
Yeah, you were
Yeah.
answering
28%,
Slytherin like answers.
25%, 20%.
I
What'd you
feel
get,
good.
Kara?
Yeah, you're like all
I
of them.
got
Which is weird, and I don't like that. I don't like that.
42% Gryffindor, 27% Ravenclaw, 18 Hufflepuff, and 13
Did we all get Gryffindor?
No, I got Hufflepuff.
Oh, you got Hufflepuff?
No, let's see. No,
So
wait.
typically,
So you're 20. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yes, technically.
Yeah,
Nice.
technically.
What is that bad?
No,
I am
no.
a
Nice.
Ravenclaw.
That's
Are you
so hard.
mad?
They
Yeah,
all
I'm
even
mad.
though
Are
it's
you
the
mad?
highest percentage.
Okay, guys.
We sound like
Okay.
there's a lot
Slow
of
down.
talking going on.
That's not
Okay.
fun to listen to.
That's
Okay, so Kara's a little mad
sorry.
because she thinks herself a Ravenclaw. She got Gryffindor. She's pissed.
Dude, I thought I was a Hufflepuff all the way.
It
Yeah.
turns out you're more Slytherin than a Hufflepuff.
I don't like this. I don't like that quiz.
Alright, this one's just for you, Tora.
You sucker.
This one's just for you.
Hmm?
So I need you to speak up on this one.
Okay, wow, what you mean?
Just a rather difficult Harry Potter quiz.
Okay, rather difficult, okay.
No, I'll just do it for you. I'll just read
Oh,
it.
jeez, okay. Wait,
Just
can I
make it
look at
easier.
it?
You can look at it,
I
I
want
guess.
to read it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Not
It's
that, not
okay.
that,
What was the name of Pit? Okay,
That's Brooklyn
not
Nine-Nine.
that.
what was the name?
Arnold!
Whoa, what the? Which one?
You gotta let him.
Arnold!
You
His
gotta.
name was Arnold. Okay?
Okay, for now on, though, let me read it so the
Okay,
listener.
sorry.
Yeah, it's a
'Cause we care
podcast.
about
We
him.
have to read it out loud.
We care about the listeners. Okay,
Okay, sorry.
we care about you. Next question. Don't. Let me read the whole thing.
Damn.
I mean, yeah, let me read the whole thing.
Okay. Is it
In
multiple
order of the.
choice?
Yeah, I'll get to.
Okay, sorry.
In Order of the Phoenix, what three things are scattered on the floor of the night bus when Harry, Ron, and Hermione are heading back to Hogwarts? Cat hair, feathers, and kitty litter? Frog spawn, cockroaches, and custard creams? Beetle dung, dead wasp, and bourbon biscuits? Eggshells, bat wings, and digestive biscuits?
Oh, sounds terrible.
Aren't all biscuits digestive?
I think so. They might be like an extra fiber or something.
Damn.
Oh, biscuits are cookies in Britain. I forget about
And
that.
that's all
But cookies are
biscuits?
digestive too.
I think
what's
it's the
their-
second one. Like
So frog spawn,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I think it might be that
That
one.
sounds very wizardy.
Yeah.
Frog spawn.
Frog spawn.
Yeah,
Even though that's
yeah,
really
yeah.
not, because that's what. Whatever. Okay. What are the names of Severus Snape's parents? Trip Snape and Elenia.
There's no way it's
Prince.
Trip Snape.
Wait, here's a good one. Toby Snape and Ellen Prince.
Hold on. Peanut butter in the mouth.
Oh yeah, that's the technique.
My parents. Toby.
Okay. And Alan Prince. I am Sir Alan Rickman, character actor. I was in Die Hard.
Harry Potter, what are you
Harry
doing out of
Potter.
your dormitory at this?
So what was it?
It's Tobias Snape and Eileen Prince.
I mean, Toby is short for Tobias.
Is it?
Okay.
Maybe?
I don't know. I don't know anyone named Toby or Tobias.
What was the code name that Fred was mistakenly called on the Potter Watch? Rodent, rattlesnake, rapier, or rabbit?
Rodent.
Rodent, okay. How many exceptions are there to Gamp's elemental law? 4, 3, 5, or 7?
Oh shit. Okay, let's go with 3.
3. The rule of 3. Incorrect. It was 5.
It's the rule of 2, Jackson. A master and an apprentice.
And then a secret apprentice.
But that's not. But the secret apprentice isn't a real Sith.
What color eyes?
It's Darth Maul, also. Or a Sith assassin. That's a quiz for you.
I don't remember.
No, okay. Okay. What color eyes does Winky brown?
Oh, wait.
Dark or light?
Shit.
Oh, we don't know. Oh, they are dark brown. Good.
Oh, thank God.
I didn't know it was telling us the answer when we did it.
Blast
I thought it-
screws. Okay.
What do blast-ended scroots look like to Harry? Overcooked and slimy prawns, deformed shellless lobsters, mouthless snakes with hands. Oh my God.
So very descriptive.
Eels with humpbacks and legs.
Okay, I think I'm gonna go with the formed lobsters.
Okay.
Is that wrong?
That was right. That was right, actually.
Oh, shit.
It will
Okay.
show the percentage at the end, I hope.
Cool.
What? What was Hermione originally going to call spew? S-P-E-W. Okay, that's too much to read. You just picked the right answer because I don't feel like reading all that.
I don't know any of these at all.
Well, it's obviously got to be like the one that spells out spew, right?
No.
Oh no, this is what she was going to call it. Ban the abuse of magical creatures and came in to set them all free. Just, come on.
Okay, let's go with the second one.
Okay.
It's wrong.
It's right. Stop the
yes.
outrageous abuse of our fellow magical creatures and camp. See, I was right. They were slaves.
Whoa.
What's the
Okay,
acronym
sorry.
for that?
Spew. Oh, for this one?
Cool.
So, she didn't have a good acronym for that one, so.
No wonder she changed it. You have to have a good acronym.
What is the name of the Bulgarian Minister of Magic?
Shit.
I'm not going to try to pronounce these.
Shit.
Chet?
Chet? Chet Montgomery.
Chet.
Jazz?
Okay, damn, we're just gonna have to guess over this one.
Okay.
Go with the fourth
I'm
one.
feeling the third one. Or the fourth one? Okay.
Wrong.
Wrong.
Damn.
It was Oblonsk.
Damn it.
Sklat. What type of hat was if that's hard.
Really huge.
Okay, you ready? Okay.
Wearing-
Wearing at Bill and Fleur's wedding. A moth-eaten fez. A tatty top hat. A suspiciously stained wizard's hat. What does that mean? Okay.
Okay, shit, let's go with the first one.
Why is it?
Top hat.
What makes it
I'm
suspiciously?
gonna throw my bet in there.
It's a moth-eaten fez.
Oh, so that was right? Okay, cool.
Yeah, you were right. Who gave Ambrosius Flume, the manager of Honeyduke's Sweet Shop, her first job? More names I can't pronounce.
What?
There's a lot of weird names in Harry
Okay,
Potter.
let's just choose the fourth one.
And then I like that one guy was just George.
George.
Or Lee. You know.
Was it right?
Incorrect.
Damn.
It was Cicerone Harkis.
Damn.
That can't be a real character.
That can't be a person. Who is the author of Unfogging the Future?
The what?
Unfogging the Future.
Is that like a textbook that they read or something?
More names I can't pronounce, so you do it. Just tell me.
Let's go with the second one.
Okay. Cassandra Voblotsky.
Cool.
I didn't know there's that many Russian people in this. Or like vaguely Russian people. You know. In the book, what color were the dress robes that Padma Patel wore to the Yule Ball? Turquoise, pink, magenta, lime green. All of the above.
I'm gonna guess lime green. I'm gonna throw my hat in the ring. I don't know the answer, but I'm just gonna guess.
I think it was magenta.
Magenta, okay. It was turquoise.
Damn it, I was thinking that one.
2 more questions. What does Romilda Vane...
If Harry has a hippogriff on his chest.
What? A hippogriff tattoo?
Hippogriff! Yes, choose that one.
Okay, yeah, it's right.
Yes.
Wow.
Woo!
Okay,
cool.
Who is the editor of the Daily
my
Prophet? Xenophilius.
No, it's not him.
Barnabas Koof.
I think it's
Xenomorph?
Patrick.
The
first one.
Xenomorph, yes.
The first one. Pick
From
the first
Alien,
one.
starring Sigourney
The
Weaver
first one.
and
Is
directed by
Sigourney Weaver the editor of the Daily
Damn it.
Prophet?
Oh, you got, okay, let's see
I
what.
got that wrong. Shit.
Okay, view results. Let's see how much of a fan you are.
Damn.
You
that's
could be
pretty
great,
trash.
you know. You got a 66%.
Damn, that's bad.
10 out of 15.
Ah, shit.
Those
You
were
know,
hard.
Hey, don't feel bad because every single one of those questions I would have just had to guess. So
Yeah.
Every single one? Okay, that makes me feel so much better.
and I have read at least some of the books,
Okay.
so I'm not like this guy.
You just
I
watched
know
everything.
something about Harry Potter. So
All right, guys. I want you to get your phone out again.
okay.
Anybody and everybody. Even though there's a few characters in this.
okay, what are we doing? What are we doing?
So.
Oh yeah,
This is definitely going on Insta.
Harry Potter and
It's on Botnik. Type in Harry Potter AI chapter and you'll get it. It's like the first thing.
yeah, the Harry Potter and the portrait will look to be a large pile of ash.
So,
Oh, dude, there's an animated version on YouTube.
yeah, there's so many versions.
Oh, that's awesome.
And another better podcast does it.
So, I don't know if any of you have seen. There's a trend online where people will take they'll take songs of an artist or a TV show and feed it, or like script episodes of TV show and feed it to an AI and have an AI write a song or a chapter or an episode or a script.
It's the one with the pages of the book.
Yeah.
Someone made a real book in this.
Should I narrate this one?
You narrate this one. What?
Carol,
Oh, okay.
can you choose it?
Oh, you put at chapter.
Oh.
So this is an AI generated Harry Potter chapter based off of Harry
Thousands
Potter.
of hours.
Yeah, based off of like Harry Potter stereotypes in the books. This is what the AI came up with of what it thinks a Harry Potter chapter would sound like.
All right, so you're gonna do the narration this time.
Yeah, and
I'm still gonna be Ron.
yeah, you'll still be Ron, and then we'll make up the other characters as we go. You'll be Hermione still,
Cool.
and we'll make up the other characters.
Yeah.
You can be Harry if you want as well. You want to be Harry?
You want me to be Harry?
Yeah,
Okay.
whoever.
Okay. Oh God, I'll try.
Harry Potter.
Actually, you be Harry again.
Okay,
You're
I'll
good
be
at that.
I'll be Harry again.
Okay, so
I don't know if you would call what I was doing earlier good.
just go for it, man.
Harry Potter and the portrait of what looked like a large pile of ash. Chapter 13. The Handsome One. Okay. The castle grounds snarled with a wave of magically magnified wind. The sky outside was a great black ceiling, which was full of blood. This is gonna be hard. The only sounds drifting from Hagrid's hut were the disdainful shrieks of his own furniture Magic. It was something that Harry Potter thought was very good. Leathery sheets of rain lashed at Harry's ghost as he walked across the grounds towards the castle. Ron was standing there doing a kind of frenzied tap dance.
Oh, yeah.
He saw Harry and immediately began to eat.
Say it. He saw Harry.
I've not read this before, so he saw Harry and immediately began to eat Hermione's family.
Okay. That's something, isn't it?
Okay. This is hard. Ron's Ron shirt was just as bad as Ron himself.
If you two can't chomp happily, I'm going to get aggressive.
Confessed the reasonable Hermione.
What about Ron magic?
Offered Ron to Harry. Ron was a loud, slow, and soft bird. Harry did not like to think about birds.
Death Eaters are on top of the castle.
Ron bleated, quivering. Ron was going to be...
You gotta read it for real.
Yeah, I'm trying. So Ron is just Charlie?
Read it, man.
Ron was going to be spiders. He just was. He wasn't proud of that, but it was going to be hard not to have spiders all over his body after all is said and done,
Look,
said Hermione.
obviously there are loads of Death Eaters in the castle. Let's listen in on the meeting.
The three complete friends zapped onto the landing outside the door of the castle roof. They almost legged it, but witches are not climbing. Ron looked at the doorknob and then looked at Hermione with a searing pain.
I think it's closed.
He noticed. Locked, said Mr. Staircase, the shabby robed ghost. They looked at the door, screaming about how closed it was, and asking it to be replaced with a small orb. The password was...
Beep woman!
Wait, one more time.
Beep woman!
Hermione cried. Harry, Ron, and Hermione quietly stood behind a circle of Death Eaters who looked bad.
I think it's okay if you like me,
said one Death Eater. Thank you very much, replied the other. The first Death Eater confidently leaned forward to plant a kiss on his cheek.
Oh, well done,
said the second as his friend stepped back again. All the other Death Eaters clapped politely. Then they all took a few minutes to go over the plan to get rid of Harry's magic. Harry could tell that Voldemort was standing right behind him. He felt a great overreaction. Harry tore his eyes from his head and threw them into the forest.
Okay, wait. Let's do a quick recap before we continue. So basically, in the beginning, Ron ate Hermione's entire family.
Yes.
Then he was covered in spiders. It was just gonna happen. That's just how it was gonna be.
And
And then-
they're spying on Death Eaters.
Spying on Death Eaters
And Voldemort is there, and Harry has torn his eyes from his head.
and threw him into a forest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Voldemort raised his eyebrows at Harry, who could not see anything at the moment. Voldemort, you're a very bad and mean wizard, Harry savagely said. Hermione nodded encouragingly. The tall Death Eater was wearing a shirt that said Hermione has forgotten how to dance. So Hermione dipped his face in mud. Ron threw a wand at Voldemort, and everyone applauded. Ron smiled. Ron reached for his wand slowly. Ron's the handsome one, muttered Harry as he reluctantly reached for his. They cast a spell or two, and jets of green light shot out from the Death Eater's head. Ron flinched.
Oh!
Not so handsome now, thought Harry as he dipped Hermione in hot sauce. The Death Eaters were dead now, and Harry was hungrier than he had ever been. The Great Hall was filled with an incredible moaning chandeliers and a large librarian who had decorated the Sphinx with books about masonry. Mountains of mice exploded. Several long pumpkins fell out of McGonagall. Dumbledore's hair scooted next to Hermione as Dumbledore arrived at school. The pig of Hufflepuff pulsed like a large bullfrog. Dumbledore smiled at him and placed his hand on its head.
You're Hagrid now. We are the only people who matter. He's never going to get rid of us.
Harry, Hermione, and Ron said in chorus. The floor of the castle seemed like a large pile of magic. The Dursleys had never been to the castle, and they were not about to come there, in Harry Potter and the Portrait of what looked like a large pile of ash. Harry looked around and then fell down the spiral staircase. For the rest of this. I'm Harry Potter, Harry began yelling. The dark arts better be worried. Oh boy.
So there you go.
There you go. That is the AI generated Harry Potter and the Portrait of what looked like a large pile of ash.
That was amazing. I would have had just as hard of a time if I was narrating that whole thing. Yeah, that's something.
Yeah.
Apparently, though, it wasn't really an AI.
A lot
did it by
of
himself.
those aren't, yeah.
It's this guide. It's this program where you start typing in stuff, and it's basically like auto predict.
Mm-hmm.
You put in all these words in like a dictionary that it pulls from. So it had all these words from the Harry Potter books, and it just pulled the ones that popped up enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
But it's still funny. That doesn't ruin it for me.
Yeah.
That's just hilarious. So
I wish we could have an auto-generated episode of the Odd Drunk Podcast.
maybe one day. Yeah. Just have an AI do it. Have an AI listen to thousands of hours of our show. And just do something, you know?
Just do it.
Just do it. So that's about the episode right there. Hope you guys had fun listening to it. We had a lot of fun here.
Do you guys have any last things to say?
Any last remarks?
No.
No, okay.
Okay.
That's
Just thought I would offer.
yeah. So make sure to follow our Instagram. I haven't. Wait, should I do it now? The Facebook group thing.
Oh, sure.
Oh, so yeah, follow our Instagram, and then for the Facebook group, so the original one is private, which is really bad because it doesn't allow new people to come in and for it to grow organically. So what we're gonna do, we're not gonna delete the old one or anything. We're gonna keep that, the Odd Drunk fan page. But coming up pretty soon, what we're gonna be doing is starting a new fan group. I don't know what we're gonna call it yet, but we will let you all know. But it's gonna be public, so people can actually join it easily and share it, because we ran into some problems with that. So keep your eyes out for that. Check out the Instagram. We got our Linktree in the description. That will show you everything that we're streaming on currently. We're on Spotify, Podbean, Apple Podcasts. We're even on YouTube now, kind of. We're on just all kinds of stuff. We're on most things. Pandora, iHeartRadio.
Mm-hmm.
Spotify, that's the big one. That's what I listen to. So, yeah, check that all out. And do you have anything to say, Colton? Any hints for next week, or are we just, like, going for it?
Oh, next week, right. It's going to be good.
I don't know if it's going to be next week, but we do plan on reviewing Willy's Wonderland coming up.
Yeah,
we're really excited for that.
Last episode, we said that we would do an episode on that within the month.
So
And
expect it
it's
next
coming
week.
out, yeah.
Yeah, expect to see that next week, but who knows? We always come up with something random and fun, trying to keep it real, trying to keep it fresh, you know? Keep it fresh and real. And you guys, our
Like the
listeners,
Fresh Prince.
keep it fresh and real for us, okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Just roll the outro.
Oh, yeah.